Okay, hi everyone. Here Tommy Walker, the Mind Engineer again, and today we're going to talk about understanding why we might be living in the past or in the future. And I hear a lot of people talking about this subject about, feeling anxiety. Oh, you're living in the past. You're feeling stress. Oh, you're living in the future. And that's it. It's like telling you, I don't know if you have heard this before, guys, that you have to live in the present moment, right? Who hasn't heard before? Type a 1 in the chat if you had heard before that you got to live in the present moment, okay? So for the people, welcome for the people that are joining. If you're joining on social media, if you can type hashtag live, that would be great so that I know you're around. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. If you can hit that love button, engage with this video, is going to help us get more people to see it. I'm loving what I'm doing. I want to share as much as I can, but I need your help, guys, to be able to get this out to more and more people, okay? So again, if you're watching this, let me know if you have heard in the past people telling you or telling others, oh, you got to live in the present moment, right? Type a 1 in the chat if that has happened before. Yes. So I see this all the time where people are telling you that you should be living in the present moment. Thank you guys for sharing that. So first of all, we need to understand why we're living in the past or we're living in the future. And what normally happens is, whether it is the past or the future, and let's choose one, let's go back to the past. When we're looking back into the past, what we're trying to do is evaluate what happened and try to imagine, in a way, thinking of doing something different. Why? Because if we did something different, we might have not been rejected, we might not be laughed at, we might not be judged or criticized. So imagine that something happened in the past, right? I was at school, this happened to me, I was cleaning the table, and there was this girl that I liked, and we were painting, so there was a glass of water, with all these dirty paints inside of them that we used to clean them, right? And as I was cleaning the table, and as a kid, I tend to have some clumsy tendencies, I hit the thing of water and I threw and splashed some of it onto this girl's uniform, right? So of course, I made a fool of myself in front of everyone, right? This girl was all messed up, her t-shirt, she wasn't happy with me, so I felt like crap. So I used to, when I was growing up, right, looking back into thinking what happened if I wouldn't have done that, right? And what I'm trying to do, guys, there is not to feel so crappy about myself. So I started looking at the past and I imagine, oh, what if I wouldn't have hit that? Maybe that would have given me a chance with this person to be able to, I don't know, get her to like me, not think that I'm clumsy or think that I'm a fool because of what I did. So I used to go back into the past, trying to make amends in the past. In my mind, of course, guys, in my mind, I was trying to make amends in the past because I didn't want to feel rejected. I didn't want to feel judged. I didn't want to feel criticized, laughed at, bullied, or whatever. Like go back, when people were bullying me, and imagine, pushing them or hitting them to try to quiet them to stop bullying me. But it didn't happen. I wasn't a violent kid at school. Like sometimes, when people really went overboard, I would react, but people measured me and knew up to where they could bother me, and I would stop, right? And I would react. So they would do it and stop before I reacted, right? So I used to live a lot in my past because the truth is I didn't want to feel that pain. Okay, so if you look at this, at what I'm sharing with you guys, it is a protective mechanism. I was living in the past as a way to try to protect myself from feeling pain, because as I went back into my past and relived that moment where they were bullying me, where I screwed up this girl's t-shirt, I felt like crap. So that brought pain, okay? So as I was trying to move away from the pain, I imagine in my mind doing different things. So type a 2 in the chat, guys, if you have found yourself living in the past, trying to change things, imagine different things, not to feel the pain. Now that you're realizing this, yeah, I could have taken more control of that situation in the past. There you go. I could have taken more control. It happens a lot in dreams. There you go. Thank you guys for sharing that. So what you're showing, guys, is that we all tend to live in the past. Why? Because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is prevent ourselves from feeling pain. So now let's move to the future. Okay, so you can understand this too. People tend to try to control the future, living in the future, because they think that if this or that happens, they're going to feel loved, they're going to feel accepted, they're going to feel recognized, or the opposite, they are not going to feel rejected. They are not going to feel bad about themselves. They are not going to feel, I don't know, criticized, rejected, judged, or bullied, or whatever, right? So we try to control the future so that things go the way we want, so that we don't feel pain. Is this making sense so far, right? Guys, write a 3 in the chat if this is making sense, please. It's important to understand why we're doing the things that we're doing, because from there, that's when we can start making changes. So let me change the camera now, guys, if we've seen that for a while. Here we go. Hello, everyone. Here we go again. So again, please, about our future. So we don't want to feel pain in our future. So we try to control our future so it won't bring pain. So if you see, anxiety is a byproduct of trying to control the past that has gone, but our mind is trying to make changes so that we don't feel the pain. And stress in a way, right? But people can still feel stress from past or future, so it doesn't matter. But normally people talk about stress being in the future. When you're feeling stress, what you're trying to do is control your future so that you don't feel pain. So instead of fighting, look at this, guys, and this is what I want you to take from all of these different trainings that I'm doing. I thought anxiety was future and stress the past. Some people, change it around. So Romana, the truth is I've heard it both ways. And what I believe, it doesn't matter. You can feel anxiety dealing with whatever, something from today, something from the future, something from the past, or you can feel stress. So it's okay, don't worry. The important thing to take from this, Romana and everybody listening, is that it is a protective mechanism. We're trying to control our future, or we try to control our past. We're living in the future, we're living in the past, because we don't want to feel pain, yes? Even worry about the future. Yes, thank you, Johnny, exactly. Worry is a way living in the future. You see what I mean? Because you're worrying what's going to happen. So the idea, instead of telling yourself not to live in the past or telling yourself not to live in the future, let's try to dive in to understand why. Change the word into your question, into why. Ask yourself, why am I living in the future? Why am I living in the past? What am I protecting myself? Why am I living in the past or future, right? Future, write it down. And the other one is, what am I, whoops, did it go? Nope. What am I protecting myself from? These are two very important questions to start asking yourself. People start, in a way, beating themselves up when they're living in the past, when they're living in the future, when they're getting worried, when they're feeling anxiety, when they're feeling stress. With all this personal development, we have been told that, oh, you got to live in the present moment. Yes. But to be able to live in the present moment, you got to understand why and what is going on in your mind that you're trying to protect yourself, that you're living in the past or in the future. Because I believe future will be better when I have my business. I don't need to work. You look at this. So Romana, future is going to be better. I get it. But how would that make you feel about yourself if the future is better? Look at this question, guys, that I just asked. So Romana said, why am I living in the future or in the past? In the future, in this case, because, right, I believe the future will be better. So that is going to make her feel amazing. So what Romana is telling me, guys, without telling me this, remember, understanding the mind, what Romana is telling me is she doesn't feel good about herself and she needs something in the future, something, external to make her feel amazing. So the idea, Romana, is to understand why you're not feeling amazing. Why, where you are right now, you're not feeling amazing. What happened in the past that made you feel that you need something external what is the program that you created that is making you feel that you need something else to be able to feel amazing? And I'm not saying it's easy, guys, don't get me wrong. And I always say this, I'm going to say it again. I don't mean that I have everything figured out. I have the tools to figure out things. When a part of me, Romana, wants something external to feel good about myself, I stop a second, I realize that, oh, I'm looking again externally, what's going on? You know, I listen, I acknowledge, so I identify, acknowledge, accept, learn the 5 steps that I always teach about rapid subconscious reprogramming, identify, acknowledge, and accept that something is bothering me. I'm realizing that I'm putting something external to feel good about myself. So look at this, amazing, because I want to overcome the fear of exposing myself, but the fear of exposing yourself has a story behind that, Romana, okay? The fear is there because you're telling yourself a negative story. There's a negative belief behind the fear. So the idea is to, okay, what are you scared of? Being rejected, being judged. So suddenly you want to be in the future, making money, growing your business, but you don't realize, Romana, I have made more than $210,000 in my business, and I still have people attacking me and, you know, saying negative things and no bullshit in social media. And it's okay. So the truth is, if you don't change the story, it doesn't matter how successful you are, you might get stuck to get to the next level. You see what I mean? So again, you're trying to cover your fears with success because there's a negative story there of being rejected, being judged, being criticized, something that you're doing to yourself. You see, guys, how I'm connecting the dots here for Romana, and I can do that for any of you guys. She is scared of exposing herself because of something else, right? A negative story of being judged, because I rejected, making her feel not good enough, making her feel not valued, not adequate, or whatever. So that is the belief that is triggering. So she's imagining a future where she's successful so she can, quote unquote, deny the feelings of not feeling valued, not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy. But you know, guys, it doesn't matter how much money Romana makes, how much does she grows her business, she's going to still feel not worthy, not valued, not good enough. As I mentioned before, guys, several times, I have worked with several millionaires that still don't feel good enough, that still don't feel worthy, that still don't feel lovable. Even though they have the house, they have more than one house, they have the car, they have their wife, they have their kids, they have the money in their bank account, they still don't feel good enough about themselves. Like one of the things that Jim Carrey says, I don't know if he said it or I saw a post somewhere around Jim Carrey that said, I wish everybody could be successful and have money to realize that that is not the most important thing. And I loved it because we have been trained to think that we need external success, the titles, you know, the job title, the certification, the title, the degree, the title at work, oh, you know, CEO, president, VP, vice president, all that crap, you know, the titles at work, or the business that is doing great, that is making a lot of money, or the woman or the man or whatever around us, external validation to feel good about ourselves. So that's why a lot of people live in the future, because they're trying to make them feel good about themselves. So it's a protective mechanism, guys. So the idea is to be able to dive into the mind, to be able to understand what is going on. Why am I feeling how I'm feeling? What am I protecting myself from? So that we can really understand and treat the root cause and not keep treating the symptoms, guys. Because as I mentioned many times, most people are treating the symptoms. They're treating the anxiety. They're treating the stress. They're treating, Romana was saying, you know, the fear by imagining being successful. Look, if Romana starts making money, she's going to still feel like crap inside of her. She might feel a little bit better, don't get me wrong, but she's going to go from crap feeling better, crap feeling better, crap feeling better. She's going to have that tug of war inside of her because there's still a part of her that doesn't feel lovable, doesn't feel worthy, doesn't feel good enough, doesn't feel adequate, or whatever it is that she's telling herself because of something that happened in the past that is a memory, an event that traumatized her and created that negative belief. and now she needs to cover it up. And we all do the same, guys. I'm talking about Romana, but this applies to everyone. We try to do things externally to try to deny the internal beliefs, guys. So if I'm telling you that a guy made $1 million and he was, really happy for a little while, and now he's thinking that he needs $5 or $10 million to be happy, was he really, coming from the right reasons or for the wrong reasons, guys? What do you think? So look what JP wrote over here. Sometimes I want to be successful to prove to others and to myself that I'm a great, being. The idea, guys, is that and I love that you shared this. That was very courageous from you to share this, JP, is that we got to work on recognizing the amazing being that we are. Full stop. End of it. We got to recognize the amazing being that we are no matter what we're doing. That is the biggest, I believe, test that we have, recognizing the amazing being that we are, no matter what. So going back to what we said, as you guys are saying, wrong reasons, exactly. Most people out there, guys, don't give a shit about, and I said that the other day that we were talking last time around the lack of ethics around social media, but we can take that anywhere we look. Okay, a lot of people don't give a crap if the product that they're getting into the market is good. They just care about making money. Why? Because deep down they feel like crap. And look at this, guys. They rather convince themselves that they're trying to sell something that seems to be good, even though it might not be good, because the money is going to bring back to them is going to cover their inner pain. So a lot of, and I said it last time, marketing coaches, right? The other day, a woman reached out when she saw the training and she said, Tommy, the other day I heard a guy saying that you should go bankrupt, that you should sell everything you have to invest in his program because his program guarantees results. That he found a way to guarantee results to everyone. It's a freaking lie, guys. But this guy is saying that. So people that are desperate are going to sell their cars. They might second mortgage on their house. They might sell their whatever or throw away their savings for this douchebag that is saying that he has found the solution, because they want to make money and they want to feel good about themselves, because we have associated money as feeling good about myself. I make money. I deny the negatives about myself. That's why people say that money brings freedom, guys. Because it frees you. Look at this, guys. It frees you. It makes you feel free from the negative things that are happening in your mind. Did that make sense, guys? Type a 5 in the chat if what I said makes sense. If it doesn't, type a 0 if it doesn't make sense. I don't mind, guys. People want to make money so that they can deny their negative image about themselves. They can deny their negative stories about themselves. And that is a big problem, guys, because seriously, it doesn't matter how much money you make, you might still feel like crap about yourself at the end of the day. So it might last for a couple of hours. It might last for a couple of days. And it happens to everyone, guys, including me. I got to be at check with those things because sometimes I fall into those. As I mentioned some times ago, right? I had the worst month in January, and it had to do that I took a lot of vacations. My VA, my sister that was working with me, took vacations too. Apart from everything going on in the world, apart from being, winter, the holiday season, everything, people took some time off in a way. So my January was the worst month after, after 2 years in being in business. And I felt a part of me started feeling like crap. So I went in and I started going through this. Okay, how do I feel? Why do I feel this? How does this make me feel about myself? And there was a part of me that wasn't feeling that felt that it wasn't going to be loved if it didn't make X amount of money. So I started working on that. I started understanding, supporting myself, that no matter what happens, no matter how much money I make, I'm going to be there for myself, right? Loving myself no matter what. And it made me feel much better. And February went higher and March went back to normal again. Okay, so now March went up again back to what I was making before in the past year. So it's like, good, loving myself no matter what, guys. But I still have to be in check because sometimes I go back to those old patterns. So Johnny says, feel like denying negative self happens a lot in terms of guys buy super fancy cars. Yes. Yes, exactly, Johnny. It could be the car, it could be the phone, it could be the computer, it could be the clothes that they use, it could be anything. The woman that they're dating, to try to show others that they're good. Seriously, guys. And there's nothing wrong with having a nice car. There's nothing wrong with having a nice partner, beautiful partner beside you, guys. It doesn't matter. The problem is, what is the intention behind it? If you could buy a good car and nobody turns around to see it and nobody says, well, what a good car, or the phone or whatever, how would that make you feel? And most of the times, guys, as you're saying, Johnny, a lot of people are looking to have those things because they want people to see them in a specific way. They want others to see them in a specific way. Why? Because they don't feel good about themselves, so they need these external things to feel good about themselves. You see what I mean? So going back to this, we tend to live in the past, or we tend to live in the future, because we're trying to reduce the pain that we might go through or that we went through in the past. So in the past, to reduce the pain we went through. In the future, to reduce the pain we might go through. That in a way, it's the same pain that we're going in, that we're still having inside of us. If I recheck what I just said, it's still trying to reduce the pain that we have inside of us. Because Romana wants to make more money with her business and have a successful business so that she can feel amazing and numb the pain inside of her. As that is not happening, we might, all of us guys, we go look out there for other pain reducers. It could be alcohol. It could be drugs. It could be, I don't know, having sex. It could be watching movies. It could be eating sugar. It could be going to the gym, guys. Finding ways to reduce the pain that we're going through. Does this make sense, guys? Write a 6 in the chat now if this is making sense. Great, thank you. Awesome. So instead of beating yourself up that I should be living in the present, that I should stop living in the past, that I should stop looking into the future, that I should stop worrying, guys, I want you to take this with you forever. Why? Why am I living in the present, in the past? Why am I living in the future? What am I protecting myself from? Yes, and rather than all being numbing the pain, facing the pain, feeling the pain, understanding where it comes from, why it's there. How does it make me feel about myself? So how do I feel? Write down the emotions. Why do I feel this? Write down the story. And you said it, Roman, in your case, everybody has their own stories. You were saying that you're going to feel amazing if you were going to be able to make money. Why? We ask again, why? Okay, because I don't want to feel fear. Fear of what? Then we come with a what, guys. You see how I change the why a couple of times, why? And now when I find a little bit more of the story, what are you protecting yourself from? So we got to shift. Or you can also ask, why are you protecting yourself? From what? You bring the what in. What are you protecting yourself from? Fear. Fear what? Fear of being judged. Fear of being criticized. Fear of not making it. Okay, from what then? How would it make you feel about yourself if you don't make it? It's going to make me feel like inadequate. It's going to make me feel like a failure. It's going to make me feel like worthless. You see, guys, that's the false belief that we're trying to cover up with the things that we're trying to achieve, trying to get, or whatever it is, guys. So the idea is to be able to acknowledge these things, recognize them, stop beating yourself up for living in the past, stop beating yourself up for living in the future, for worrying, for feeling stress, for feeling anxiety. Start asking the why and the what. That is going to be much more loving. You're going to be able to understand what's going on, and you're going to be able to start working on making changes. And then you tell person he already feels worthless. So what do you mean, Romana, with that? And then you tell person he already feels worthless. What does that mean, Romana? Well, let's do this. We're going to go now into the Q&A, and I'll address that in a second, Romana, so don't worry about typing it. So guys, type a 10 in the chat if this makes sense into exploring and understanding what we're living in the past, what we're living in the future. Because If we're able to change the story, if we're able to start working on these things, on changing how we feel about ourselves, right? If we change the stories, we're going to be able to start living more in the present. We're going to love ourselves more, understand and support ourselves instead of beating yourself up because you're living in the future and the past. It's about loving yourself so that now, if you love yourself, you're going to live here and now, guys. Listen to that again. The more you love yourself, the more you're going to live here and now. Do you guys think that is right or not? Type a yes in the chat if what I said makes total sense, that if you love yourself more, you're going to be able to live here and now, because you're not going to need anything, guys, because I'm going to have what I need. If I have what I need, I'm not going to need to live in the past, live in the future. And that's the idea throughout this work, to be able to find those parts of us that don't feel loved and accepted, that feel rejected, that feel judged, that feel criticized, that feel neglected, that feel something negative, so that we can integrate them back to us. And this is something that I've changed in my messaging, guys. Now I'm saying, I know it sounds weird, but becoming the one, guys. Becoming the one, meaning that we're not all these parts of us pushing and pulling. Oh, I feel sad. Oh, I have scared. I have fear. I'm feeling inadequate. I'm feeling worthless. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling that. So all these parts of us are pulling and pushing in different directions. So we're not one. We're a mixture of all these parts that are dispersed around our mind because of past experience that happened. So as we address each one of them, we integrate them to truly become the one and only consciousness. Not all these fights that we have inside of us. I feel sad, so I need to bring in, gratitude. No, you gotta understand why that part of you feels bad. Address it, integrate it, feel it, reprogram and integrate it so that you have one less part that is dispersed as part of the consciousness. So you're regaining all those pieces of consciousness that are dispersed and become the one. And that's the idea with this. I like that, becoming the one. Thank you, JP. I'm glad that you like it. I know it sounds weird, with Neo and all of that, but it's true. It's becoming one, the one, me and only me, with no pulling around me. That's the idea. So I'm sharing that message out there. If people don't like it, if feel it's crazy, guys, not you guys, but whoever thinks it's crazy, they can walk away. I can just, the other day I did a video and a guy pushed like a, crazy face. I blocked him. Gone. I don't care. I don't need to put up with this crap. Gone. So if somebody doesn't like it, go find another path. This is not for you. The people that are looking to really heal and become one with themselves and with the universe, that's what I'm trying to teach here, guys. So thank you very much for watching. Again, if you're liking this, send me some love there on social media, guys, so that this gets more viral, more people see it. If you don't like it, just let me know why, and we can debate about it. As you know, I love talking about these things, so I'm open to debate also. So thank you very much for watching on the different platforms. I'm going to stay here on Zoom with the rest of the people here, and we're going to go deeper with this subject. So thank you very much. Take care and have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, so social media gone. Let me stop this, guys.